Hello students, welcome to Alphos e-learning. This is session 75. In previous session, we was learned that nomenclature and isomerism of carbonyl compounds. In this session, we are going to discuss methods of preparation of carbonyl compounds. Methods of preparation of carbonyl compounds already we was learned in alcohols lesson, particularly in chemical properties of alcohols. In chemical properties of alcohols, we was learned alcohols upon oxidation we are getting carbonyl compounds. Let us see. Primary alcohols are CH2OH. Upon oxidation we are getting aldehyde, but after formation of aldehyde, further oxidation takes place and final products are carboxylic acids. Similarly, if we consider secondary alcohols are CHOHR, which upon oxidation we are getting ketones. Secondary alcohols upon oxidation we are getting ketones, but ketones further oxidation requires carbon-carbon bond breaking, means it requires some energy. So ketones further oxidation is difficult. Ketones further oxidation is difficult. For that we need to provide certain amount of energy for breaking of CC bonds. If it happens, then again we are getting carboxylic acids. Tertiary alcohols, because of OH containing carbon do not possess any hydrogen, tertiary alcohols do not undergo any oxidation. But here in this process, primary alcohols gives aldehyde, secondary alcohols gives ketones, like that. But problem is, after formation of aldehyde, it is very difficult to control, to stop oxidation further, and formation of carboxylic acids we cannot prevent. That means aldehydes, for the upon oxidation we are getting aldehydes, alcohols upon oxidation we are getting aldehydes, but the aldehydes further oxidation gives carboxylic acids, and second step we cannot stop. Right? If you want to stop reaction after formation of aldehydes, we have to use few reagents that was already learned, mild oxidizing agents. So here when we are using mild oxidizing agent, nothing but mild oxidizing agent does not means weak oxidizing agent. Mild oxidizing agent is nothing but controlled oxidation. So when we are using mild oxidizing agent, here what happened? Alcohols converts into aldehyde. Up to conversion of alcohol into aldehyde it works, and after that for further conversion that oxidizing agent do not work. Such oxidizing agents what we call mild oxidizing agents or controlled oxidizing agents. Here mild oxidizing agent doesn't mean weak oxidizing agent. Now, in order to convert alcohol into aldehyde, we are not only using mild oxidizing agents, sometimes even though we are using strong oxidizing agents, by taking special precautions, we can convert alcohol into aldehyde, and there we can stop the reaction. I am repeating once again. In order to convert alcohol into aldehyde, and after formation of aldehyde, if you want to stop the reaction, as I mentioned, first one we can use mild oxidizing agent, and the second one, even though we are using strong oxidizing agent, and there we need to take some precautions. By taking such precautions, we can stop the reaction after formation of aldehyde. Now let us see which type of reagents generally or preferably we are using for conversion of alcohols into aldehydes or secondary alcohols into ketones. For secondary alcohols into ketones, even though you can use strong oxidizing agent, because for further conversion into carboxylic acid, it requires energy. If we did not provide energy, here reaction not that much easy. That's why for conversion of secondary alcohols into ketones, even though we can use strong oxidizing agent and mild oxidizing agent, whatever it may be, because after formation of ketone for further oxidation, it requires some energy. Now, let us the list of mild oxidizing agent are and a few strong oxidizing agents also we can use. And when we are using strong oxidizing agent, what type of precaution we need to take? Let us see. So mild oxidizing agents are which behaves like mild oxidizing agent, even though strong oxidizing agent. First one, potassium dichromate acidified. As we know, acidified potassium dichromate is a strong oxidizing agent, and this one we can use for preparation of aldehydes from alcohols. But remember that product is not that much excellent. Product is not that much excellent means yield we are not getting maximum, but we can prepare for that. What type of precaution we have to take, we will discuss. And second one, Jones reagent. This is mild oxidizing agent. This is mild oxidizing agent. Chromic oxide in sulfuric acid and acetone is Jones reagent. And Fenton's reagent, as we know, Fenton's reagent, ferrous sulfate and hydrogen peroxide, FeSO4 and H2O2. It is called Fenton's reagent. So Fenton's reagent also acts as a mild oxidizing agent. And Sarrett or Sarrett Colin reagent, Sarrett or Sarrett Colin reagent, which is nothing but PCC, pyridinium chlorochromate in methylene chloride. Sarrett or Sarrett Colin reagent is what we call pyridine dichromate, CrO3 in pyridine, DMSO in carbonyl chloride, in pyridine triethylamine. DMSO is nothing but dimethyl sulfoxide. Is also mild oxidizing agent. MnO2 in CCl4 or acetone. MnO2 in CCl4 or acetone. Here, this one also good mild oxidizing agent or controlled oxidizing agent. And there is one more specialty here for MnO2. It do not oxidize carbon-carbon double bonds. It do not oxidize carbon-carbon double bond. It preferably oxidizes only alcohols. So mild oxidizing agent here MnO2, which do not oxidize carbon-carbon double bond. Whereas acidified potassium dichromate or potassium permanganate, they preferably oxidize carbon-carbon double bond also along with alcoholic groups. And aluminum tertiary butoxide in acetone, this one is named reaction, opener oxidation, that we will discuss. So in all these cases, these reagents behaves as a mild oxidizing agent by taking few precautions. And in these reagents, few reagents really mild oxidizing agents. Once again, mild oxidizing agent does not mean weak oxidizing agent. Don't forget that. Now, secondary alcohol, primary alcohol converts into aldehyde by using all these reagents. And here we have to stop the reaction, means further conversion into acid we have to prevent. For that, if we are using directly mild oxidizing agent like PCC or PDC, then you will get aldehyde. But when we are using potassium dichromate acidified, how we can stop? Here aldehyde further oxidizes into acid because of it is a strong oxidizing agent. So in case of strong oxidizing agent also, you mentioned in the list of mild oxidizing agents are which we can use for conversion of primary alcohol into aldehyde. So how it is possible? And for secondary alcohols, even though we are using acidified potassium dichromate, it's not a matter. Now let us see. Aldehydes, alcohols upon oxidation, we are getting aldehydes. So even though we are using strong oxidizing agent, think what happened is alcohols which has boiling point 351 Kelvin, whereas aldehydes boiling point, acetaldehyde boiling point 293. Suppose if you want to prepare acetaldehyde from ethyl alcohol, for that we do not have any mild oxidizing agent. Let us use the acidified potassium dichromate only. So acidified potassium dichromate is strong oxidizing agent. It can oxidize further from aldehyde to carboxylic acid. Don't forget that. So in this case, I am going to maintain temperature 340 degrees Celsius. Because at 351, this alcohol goes to vapor state. I am going to maintain temperature which is less than 351, means less than boiling point of aldehyde, but more than less than boiling point of alcohol, but more than boiling point of aldehyde. Less than boiling point of alcohol, but more than boiling point of aldehyde. What happened here? Alcohol still remains in liquid state, And when we are using acidified potassium dichromate, then it oxidizes into aldehyde. Because of aldehyde boiling point is 291, we are maintaining temperature 340. That means the formed aldehyde readily goes to vapor state. That means whenever it goes to vapor state, we can separate and condense. Means we are separating from the reaction environment. That's why aldehyde further do not undergo oxidation. I'm repeating once again. Since aldehydes are less volatile, aldehydes have less boiling point than alcohols. In other words, aldehydes are more volatile than alcohols. You know very well, alcohols has hydrogen bonding, aldehydes do not have any hydrogen bonding. That's why, since alcohols are less volatile, aldehydes are more volatile. Once alcohols converted into aldehydes, because of their boiling point less, they are more volatile, they readily goes to vapor state, and that vapors we can separate and again condense. That means immediately we can separate from the reaction environment. In such a case, we get success for preparation of aldehyde. But remember that this method is not such a good method for preparation of aldehydes in good yield. But you can prepare, but not in good yield. Similarly, not only acetaldehyde from methyl alcohol, any aldehyde from corresponding alcohol we can prepare, because when they are having same number of carbon atoms, alcohol's boiling point is more always than aldehyde's boiling point. Let us see, in case of propanol boiling point 370 Kelvin and propyl alcohol boiling point 370 Kelvin, whereas propanol boiling point 320 Kelvin. That means when we are maintaining temperature which is below 370 but above 320, then the formed propanol readily goes to vapor state because of more volatile nature. In such a case, we can separate. Now, why we are preferring potassium dichromate acidified even though strong oxidizing agent will end? Because we can separate formed aldehyde from the reaction condition. That's why even though we are using acidified potassium dichromate, but here acidified potassium dichromate is strong oxidizing agent. It's not a mild oxidizing agent, but we can use in the list of reagents. Okay, next one. So when we are using Jones reagent or Sarrett's reagent, Sarrett-Collins reagent, PCC, PDC, these are all mild oxidizing agents that already we learned. So being mild oxidizing agents, here boiling point criteria not necessary, because when we are using mild oxidizing agents, then they can convert corresponding alcohols into aldehydes, and after formation of aldehyde, reaction will be stopped completely. Next, here how this mechanism means when we are using acidified potassium dichromate, how mechanism takes place. Let us see. Alcohols upon reaction with chromic acid, here dichromate, chromate, acidified potassium dichromate. So this one dichromate is obtained from chromic acid. So when we are using alcohol, H2CrO4 is chromic acid. So from this chromic acid we are getting dichromate. This one upon dehydration we are getting dichromate ion. So here dehydration takes place. Dehydration takes place means this is nothing but condensation. Because of condensation of alcohol with chromic acid, we are getting chromate ester. This one chromate ester. Like C double bond OR, here Cr double bond OR. That's why we are calling this one is chromic ester. This chromic ester upon oxidation, here CH bond electron shifted towards carbon oxygen bond and the OC bond electron shifted, O chromium bond electrons are shifted towards chromium. In order to accommodate these electrons comes like that. That means we are getting RCHO and HCrO3 minus. In HCrO3 minus, chromium oxidation number is +4. And chromium +4 oxidation state is unstable and it immediately reduces to Cr+3. Now, here acidified potassium dichromate, orange or yellow, chromate and dichromates, orange and yellow color, and means Cr here +6 oxidation state. In a +6 oxidation state, they are having orange or yellow color. And when they convert into Cr+3, because Cr+4 is unstable, it readily reduces to Cr+3. Cr+3, which is a green color. That means oxidation completed. That also we came to know by notice that color. let us see this compound cyclohexene 1 mole, cyclohex 2 in 1 mole. Here carbon oxygen means alcohol group is there. This alcohol is secondary alcohol. Along with this alcohol, here carbon carbon double bond also there. Since carbon carbon double bond, when we are using esterified potassium permanganate or esterified potassium dichromate, carbon carbon double bond also gets oxidized. But in few cases, means when we are using few reagents like MnO2 or aluminium tertiary peroxide in acetone, that what we call open or oxidation, or PCC means PCC PDC mild oxidizing agent. In these cases, only secondary alcohol group or primary alcohol group gets oxidized without disturbing that carbon carbon double bond. Means in this case we are getting product cyclohexenone, and one more reagent here, aluminium tertiary butoxide in acetone. So in all these cases, we are getting only alcohol group gets oxidized product without disturbing carbon carbon double bond. Let us see. Here secondary alcohol cyclopentanol is also secondary alcohol. I am going to use alkaline KMnO4 and esterified potassium dichromate. In this case, we are getting product only cyclopentanone. Cyclopentanone means ketone. So primary alcohol gives aldehyde, secondary alcohol gives ketones. Here, even though secondary alcohol cyclopentanone formation takes place, further oxidation not that much easy. Means cyclopentanone for further oxidation, even though we are using strong oxidizing agent, here carbon carbon bond breaking required. Carbon carbon bond breaking, for carbon carbon bond breaking we need to provide energy. If there is no energy, then further oxidation will be stopped. That means here ketone, after formation of ketone, further oxidation do not takes place. Hope you get the point. Next one, catalytic dehydrogenation. This catalytic dehydrogenation method also we was learned in alcohols. If we learn alcohols thoroughly, almost most of the properties of alcohols are nothing but preparations of carbonyl compounds. Now, catalytic dehydrogenation for this one, copper or silver at 573 Kelvin or 300 degrees Celsius. This one already we learned that primary alcohol, let us say RCH2OH. This one upon catalytic dehydrogenation by heating in presence of copper at 573 Kelvin, we are getting aldehyde. Dehydrogenation takes place. Dehydrogenation also one type of oxidation. Similarly, secondary alcohols are RCHOH. Earlier one is primary alcohol. This one is secondary alcohol. Secondary alcohol upon oxidation by using copper at 573 Kelvin, we are getting ketones RC double bond OR and hydrogen. So primary alcohol gives aldehyde, secondary alcohol gives ketone upon catalytic dehydrogenation by using copper or silver in presence at a temperature 573 Kelvin. Then what about tertiary alcohols? Let us say I am going to consider tertiary butyl alcohol CH3COH. Tertiary butyl alcohol upon heating in presence of copper and 573 Kelvin. Here dehydrogenation takes place instead of dehydration takes place. Instead of dehydrogenation, here what happened? Dehydration takes place. That means here you are getting here from this carbon H and from this carbon H and from this carbon OH. Ultimately we are getting CH double bond C, CH3. Means isobutene we are getting. Primary alcohols upon catalytic dehydrogenation we are getting aldehyde. Secondary alcohol gives ketones. Whereas tertiary alcohol do not undergo catalytic dehydrogenation. Instead of that, catalytic dehydration takes place. And finally we are getting product isobutane, means alkene product you are getting. By dry distillation of calcium salts of carboxylic acids, we are getting carbonyl compounds. So first of all, calcium salts of carboxylic acids we are getting by heating carboxylic acid with calcium oxide. By heating calcium oxide, as you know calcium oxide is base, Carboxylic acid is acid. This one we are getting calcium salts of carboxylic acids. Now, this calcium salts of carboxylic acids upon dry distillation, nothing but heating in absence of oxygen, we are getting carbonyl compounds. But which carbonyl compound we are going to get, that depending upon carboxylic acid which we are going to use. Which carboxylic acid salt we are going to use. Let us see. Here, calcium salts of carboxylic acid, I used to consider CaO, C double bond OR, O, C double bond OR. This one upon heating, we are getting R, C double bond OR and CaCO3. We are getting R, C double bond OR and CaCO3 upon dry distillation. This is a pyrolytic reaction. Because of pyrolytic reaction here, we are not supposed to think about mechanism, means simply bond breaking and bond formation takes place. So calcium salts of carboxylic acid, I used to consider RCOO taken twice Ca. This one upon heating we are getting ketone. This RC double bond O R is ketone. Now if we want to prepare aldehyde, then we have to use, one is calcium formate, another one is any carboxylic acid salt or calcium salt. Any calcium salt of carboxylic acid. That means here we need to use two different salts. Say one is CaCH3COO taken twice. It is nothing but calcium acetate. Calcium acetate upon heating with calcium formate. Calcium acetate upon heating with calcium formate. Let us suppose I am going to write this one as OC double bond OCH3 and OC double bond OH. Now, so it means of two valencies of calcium, one satisfied by acetate ion, another one satisfied by formate ion. So in this case, we are getting acetaldehyde, CH3, C double bond OH and CaCO3. This one upon dry distillation, we are getting CaCO3 and CH3, C double bond OH. So it is very simple. Which carboxylic acid? See, here in carboxylic acid, two carbons are there. That two carbon containing aldehyde we can prepare here. And when we can prepare like that, if this one upon dry distillation with calcium formate salt. For example, if you want to prepare 3 carbon containing aldehyde, then you need to consider one is calcium propanoate, O C double bond O CH2 CH3, calcium propanoate. Another one is calcium formate. Another one is calcium formate, means C double bond O CH2 CH3. This one is calcium propanoate. This calcium propanoate upon heating with calcium formate OC double bond OH, OC double bond OH. See, in this case, instead of this one, I am going to write from these two as Ca, OC double bond O, CH2, CH3, and here OC double bond OH. Then, upon dry distillation, what happened here? This CH3, CH2, C double bond OH, and this one remains as CaCO3. So, we are getting CaCO3 and CH3, CH2, CH3, CH2, C double bond OH. So 3 carbon containing aldehyde, propanol you can prepare upon dry distillation of calcium propanoate with calcium formate. So which or what number of carbon atom containing aldehyde you want to prepare? That aldehyde, if you want to prepare, then you need to consider the same number of carbon containing carboxylic acid, calcium salt, along with calcium formate. So here calcium formate must. So instead of that, if you are considering only calcium acetate, so let us see only calcium acetate, OC double bond OCH3, OC double bond OCH3. Only one we are considering. Then in such a case we are getting CH3, C double bond OCH3 means acetone and calcium carbonate. So we are getting ketone. That means only calcium salts of carboxylic acid except formic acid salt, you are getting ketones. And along with the calcium formate, if you are heating any other calcium salt of carboxylic acid, you are getting aldehyde. That means what number of carbon atom containing aldehyde we want to prepare? The same number of carbon atom containing carboxylic acid we need to take into the consideration along with the calcium formate. So instead of that calcium formate, if you are not using any calcium formate salt and directly we are using calcium acetate salt, then we are getting acetone. Only calcium acetate gives acetone. Here like this, RC double bond OR. Which acid you are going to consider? Acetic acid salt. That's why acetone you are getting. Acetic acid salt, you are getting acetone. But here you should remember one more point. When I am going to consider 2 carbon containing calcium salt, 2 carbon containing carboxylic acid calcium salt along with 3 carbon containing carboxylic acid calcium salt. That means simply I can say here 2 different carboxylic acid salts. 2 different carboxylic acid salts. In such a case, what product we are going to get? CaCH3COO taken twice means calcium acetate along with calcium propanoate. CH3CH2COO taken twice. Then in such a case, you are going to get a mixture of products. You are going to get a mixture of product. As I mentioned that this reaction is a pyrolytic reaction. Pyrolytic reaction means heat-based reaction. Since heat-based reaction, here what happened? Any compound may participate in the reaction. Now here what type of possibilities are there? Only calcium acetate participate in the reaction. In such a case, we are getting acetone, CH3, C double bond O, CH3, and if only propanoate is going to participate, then you are getting CH3, CH2, C double bond O, CH2, CH3. This one is 3-pentanone. Now, if one is calcium acetate, another one is calcium propanoate. If one is calcium acetate, another one is calcium propanoate, then you are getting CH3, CH2, C double bond O, CH3 here. And one more possibility here, CH3, it's the same compound you are getting. Means here total 3 products you are getting. That means when we are using 2 different calcium salts of carboxylic acid, we are getting a mixture of compounds. That means here it is very simple. When we are using only one salt, then you are getting only one ketone. If you are using 2 different calcium salts, then you are getting a mixture of products. In general, immediately we are getting one doubt, sir. In case of preparation of aldehyde, you mentioned that one must be calcium formate, another one may be any calcium salt of carboxylic acid. Yes. So in that case, is there any possibility for formation of other products? Yes, obviously. Here, when you consider calcium acetate and calcium formate, calcium propanoate and calcium formate, I used to write here only propanaldehyde. Beyond of that, one more product also possible here. That means if only calcium propanoate is going to participate in the reaction, in such a case you are getting this product. So CH3, CH2, C double bond O, CH2, CH3. That means C2H5, C double bond O, C2H5 means 3-pentanone you are going to get. So wherever you are using 2 different salts of carboxylic acids, obviously we are getting a mixture of products, whether it is a preparation of aldehyde or a preparation of mixed ketones. In this method, we can prepare simple ketones. As we learned that both alkyl groups are same. Simple ketones we are getting from same carboxylic acid. In other words, simple ketones you can get from only one carboxylic acid salt instead of 2 different carboxylic acid salt. Like here, only calcium propanoate is participated, you are getting C2H5, C double bond O, C2H5. This both alkyl groups are same. This is what we call simple ketone. If both alkyl groups are different, then what we call a mixed ketone. So here simple ketones we can prepare in good yield. And instead of calcium, barium, manganese, thorium salts. I am repeating, barium salts, thorium salts, manganese salts gives good yield. Barium, manganese, thorium means heavy. There they can give good yield product compared to calcium salts. If you want to prepare cyclic ketones, then better to prefer dicarboxylic acid salt of calcium. That means calcium salts of dicarboxylic acid upon heating, upon dry distillation, here what you are reading? CaCO3 and 1, 2, 3. 3 membered ring here. Cyclopropanone along with calcium carbonate. See here, in case of dicarboxylic acid salt, total number of carbons 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 carbons are there, of which 3 carbons comes to ketone, cyclic ketone form, and 1 carbon only appears in the form of calcium carbonate. So if you want to prepare 5 carbons, containing ketone, then obviously you need to consider carboxylic acid, at least it contains 6 carbon atoms. Let us see, CH2, 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 C double bond O, C double bond O, O minus, here Ca2 plus. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 carbons containing dicarboxylic acid. This one upon dry distillation, here CaCO3 comes out, then we are getting 5 carbon containing ketone along with CaCO3. Means a dry distillation of calcium salts of carboxylic acids, we are getting ketones. Dicarboxylic acids, we are getting cyclic ketones. Monocarboxylic acids, we are getting only aliphatic ketones. Now, instead of calcium salts, directly if we are using carboxylic acids, that means simply by distillation of carboxylic acid in presence of manganese dioxide MnO2, thoria, MnO2, thoria or Al2O3 aluminum oxide. In presence of these catalysts, what we call catalytic decomposition of carboxylic acid, acids, and for this what we are using, MnO2 or thoria or Al2O3 catalyst and heat. Now here also similar reaction. If one is formic acid, another one is any carboxylic acid. Let us assume RC double bond OH, one carboxylic acid along with formic acid, HC double bond OH. Then this one upon heating by using Al2O3, 673 Kelvin like that, then we are getting RC double bond OH. Means along with any carboxylic acid, here RCOOH. Suppose if you consider carboxylic acid containing 4 carbon atoms, then you are getting aldehyde with 4 carbons. 1 carbon of carboxylic acid goes to carbonate form and remaining as well. So I am going to consider CH3 C double bond OH acetic acid along with formic acid HC double bond OH. Here H2CO3 like you are getting in presence of MnO2 and 623 Kelvin. Then we are getting CH3 C double bond OH and here what you are getting, H2O and CO2. Instead of H2CO3 we are getting H2O and CO2. Similarly, if you are considering only carboxylic acid, not formic acid, only carboxylic acid, let us say CH3 C double bond OH and CH3 C double bond OH. Means I am going to consider only carboxylic acid but not formic acid. If you consider formic acid, you can prepare aldehyde. Without formic acid, you can prepare only ketone. So here only carboxylic acid, then what happened here, CH3 C double bond O, CH3 plus H2O plus CO2. So can we prepare mixed ketone? Means here symmetrical ketone you can prepare good yield. 60% yield you are getting. How much? 60% yield you can prepare. That means symmetrical ketones you can prepare in good yield. And if you try to prepare unsymmetrical ketone, means mixed ketone, is simple ketones you can prepare. Instead of that, unsymmetrical ketone or mixed ketone if you try to prepare, that means we need to consider one is RC double bond OH, another one is R dash C double bond OH. One is RCOOH, another one is R dash COH. Then what are the possibilities here? Generally we are expecting here H2O CO2 will eliminate out R C double bond O R dash plus not only these two, because once it participates in the reaction we cannot control. So like this RCOOH has to combine with R dash COOH, we cannot say that. So once the reaction participated, two RCOOH molecules may participate in the reaction. In such a case we are getting RC double bond OR and two R dash COH may participate in the reaction. In such a case, we are adding R dash C double bond to R dash, and along with that H2O plus CO2. These products are as usual. So not only carboxylic acids, not only calcium salts of carboxylic acids, simply directly we can use catalytic decomposition of carboxylic acid. But if you want to prepare aldehyde, here formic acid must. If there is no formic acid, you are getting ketones only. No aldehyde means if you are directly using only carboxylic acid, means except formic acid, any other carboxylic acid, you can prepare only ketone but not aldehydes.